Hi everybody! If you came here from my Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel intro video, then thank you so much for sticking around. Today I am going to talk about my infertility journey and the road to our daughter, Autumn Claire. It all started in 2011, the year me and my husband got married. Me and my husband got married fairly quickly. We dated for 9 months. We got engaged. 9 months later, we were married. That was all in the span of 18 months. I was engaged at 19. I was married at 20. My husband was 23. And fast is how we rolled, I guess. And if we would have had our way, we would have continued that motion with starting a family right off the hop. That is what we wanted to do. 9 months into marriage, we took the plunge to start that journey. Getting pregnant was not easy for me. I suspected that it might be as such as I had very irregular cycles. My cycles lasted anywhere from 42 to 90 days. I had an average of 7 to 8 cycles a year instead of 12. And upon going off the pill, my 30-day cycles on the pill went right back to around 45 to 60. That was usually the norm. They sometimes stretched to 90, but they usually were in that 45 to 60 days. So I thought, oh boy, but I was still pretty optimistic for the first couple of months. Every month I would take pregnancy test after pregnancy test. As soon as I got to 45 days, every month I would take a test. And every month they were stark negative. This went on for months and months and months. About 6 months into trying for a child, I was having some ovarian pain. And I had an abnormal pap, and it was discovered that I had ovarian cysts. They were golf ball sized. There's definitely been people with a lot huger, but they were pretty significant size. I also had a CN125 test, which is an ovarian cancer screening test. And it came back with abnormal levels that suggested ovarian cancer. Now, I was warned that this could just be because of my cyst, but I had to go for follow-up blood work. In the end, it turned out that it was just my ovarian cysts and my off levels of progesterone and estrogen that just were causing that obscure result. So that was a very rough few weeks, but we had faith, we leaned on God, and we just, I went in just expecting that it was because of the cyst, so I didn't get too concerned with it. But I kind of just, I don't know, from that doctor's appointment, I figured that this was just the start of our journey and that there was going to be more unwanted surprises in this whole episode of trying to have a child. So that came and went. We dealt with that, and we just kept on trying for a child. Our first anniversary came and went, and I still wasn't pregnant. Getting to that first anniversary was a huge milestone for us, though. It felt really good. It felt good to have a year under our belts as newlyweds before we started a family. It felt good to move out of our 600 square foot little box house into our 1,300 square foot 4-bedroom home. We knew that this was a home that was going to be more equipped for children. I was able to finish my university degree. So we were like, okay, God has a plan. This is his timing. This was definitely how things were supposed to go. So accomplishing all that and moving into this house, we thought, okay, now we're really ready for this baby. Well, it was still a season of waiting that we were in. We got to our second year anniversary And same thing, it came and went, and there was no baby in sight. I finally, after pleading with my doctors, got referred to a fertility specialist. And that is one of the moments that changed everything. When we went to see him, he let me know that I did have anovulatory cycles, meaning I was not ovulating in many of the cycles that I had had. And according to the blood tests that I had done, the last cycle I had just finished at the time proved that there was no ovulation. Now, before my doctor wanted to do anything super invasive with me to try and get a diagnostic answer as to why we were struggling with infertility for a year and a half already, he said, I'm going to check out your husband. We're going to do a basic fertility screening on him. And if that checks out, then we will start to get more invasive with our procedures with you. So they checked out my husband, and he passed with flying colors. It turns out that in my specialist's 30 years of practicing medicine, he had never seen results that good. So there we had it. My husband Eric was acing everything he needed to be doing, and it was me that was failing. My body was failing me, and we needed to know why. So I got some more blood work done, and it came back that I might have polycystic ovarian syndrome. Some of my hormonal levels and the different levels in some of my blood counts suggested PCOS. I had heard about PCOS. I had watched many YouTube families who struggled with PCOS, and I knew it was a possibility. I knew with my cysts, I knew with my long cycles, but I still didn't have many of the other symptoms that came along with it. I didn't have breakouts. I didn't have oily skin. I didn't struggle with my weight. I didn't struggle with being too thin either with a thyroid issue. I was just kind of coasting down the middle. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised, but not surprised at all. But even though it wasn't a definite you have PCOS, my fertility specialist still suggested that we take a method of correcting my infertility as if I did have PCOS. So he prescribed me Seraphine, which is the Canadian version of Clomid. You can get Clomid here as well. It's just basically a personal choice by your doctor on what you get. So I went on Seraphine, and I also went on 1,500 milligrams of metformin. It was my insulin levels that were off in my blood work, which is what made him think that PCOS was an issue. So he wanted to correct that. So he prescribed me the medication, as well as he wanted to book a scope and dye test, which basically means that they would balloon open my cervix, put a camera up to my fallopian tubes, and see if there was any blockages. Now, I had watched so many YouTube videos on this procedure, and it seemed rough. People said it was excruciating. It was a day surgery, and even though it was only a day surgery, everyone came out saying that it was the most invasive thing they had ever gone through. And while that scared me, the other thing everyone had said was that they would do it 1,000,000 times over because it helped lead them to their baby. So I bucked up and I said, if this is what I have to do to be a mother, this is what I'll do. So we booked that procedure, and I was so nervous. But I was really excited that I finally had met someone that took us serious. Being a young couple, we kind of got pushed to the wayside a little bit, saying that we had time on our side, which we did. We did have the time on our hands. We were young, but when you have a dream, it doesn't matter your age when that dream is crushed and when you don't think that dream is going to happen. it's still heartbreaking, and you want someone just to pat you on the back and say, it's going to be okay. I have some solutions. This is what we're going to do. And that's all we wanted. We just wanted to hear some solutions. We had spent countless nights in prayer. I spent lots of times with a prayer journal, talking to God, trying to figure out why this wasn't happening for us. But we were just still looking for that recognition from a doctor to come alongside us and encourage us. We had our faith in Jesus, but we needed that affirmation from a doctor as well that it could happen. And this was the first doctor that finally said to us, there's no reason why you can't have a dozen kids. Your body just needs a push in the right direction. It was great to hear that. That was the affirmation I needed. So we went through, we started the medication, and we booked the surgery. I had received my period on October 18th. And I started metformin and the Seraphine that cycle. Now, what I was supposed to do with the Seraphine, the Clomid, was to take it on days 5 through 11 of my menstrual cycle. The idea with that is that you take the pill on days 5 through 11, and then it prompts your body to release that egg for day 14. That way you know when you need to make that baby, because your egg is supposed to be released right then. So it takes out the guesswork. Your body will release that egg. What the metformin does is it created good quality eggs, which is what we needed. We already had the good quality sperm, we just needed those good quality eggs, and we needed them to be released. So we took that. I was really nervous that the metformin was going to make me nauseous and sick to my stomach. I had heard that it was pretty rough on your body, but I had no issues. It didn't bother me. I didn't get nauseous. I didn't throw up. I didn't get a stomach ache. I didn't get headaches. So that was really nice. So took the medication, which I said, and then on November 14th, that marked the 28-day cycle. Now, knowing that I was supposed to ovulate on day 14, I knew that this should be a cycle that was finally 28 to 30 days, and I shouldn't deal with those 45-day cycles anymore. So being presumptuous, like I am, and optimistic, and always kind of looking on the bright side, I decided to take a test on day 29. I had never taken a pregnancy test before day 45 in my life, and every test I had ever taken had been negative. Stark negative. But we were going on a trip, and I thought this would be kind of fun to find out before our trip. Even though I didn't want to ruin the trip with bad news, I felt like I should test. That morning I was checking my Instagram feed, and the verse of the day on one of the people that I follow was, Lord, I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I ask of him. And if that was an affirmation enough, I said, I am taking a test, and we are finding out if I am pregnant. So I took that test on day 29. I had never taken a test before day 45 in my life. I had never seen 2 lines. And that day, after 3.5 of the longest minutes, I saw 2 lines. And actually, I was on my way to the garbage can with that test, about to throw it out, that it was just another negative, when I seen that second line. And that was the end of our fertility journey for Autumn, and the start of our happy ending. Autumn is now 21 months old, and if you want to hear more about my story on how we got pregnant with our second child, who I am now 20 weeks along with, I will have that in a separate video. So thank you so much for watching. And if you know anyone who is struggling with infertility, any of your friends or family, the best thing you can do is just to be an ear to listen. They not necessarily are looking for advice. They just want someone to listen. So be that ear for them. Take them out, spend time with them, sidetrack them with other fun things to do. But yeah, sometimes it's not advice that they need. If you pray, pray for them. If you want to send them good vibes, send them those good vibes. If you like this video, leave a comment below. If you have struggled with infertility or have a success story, leave those comments as well. And please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos of me and more videos of how cute Autumn is, and you don't want to miss out on her cuteness. So please subscribe. Have a great day. Okay, bye guys. Say bye! Give him a kiss. Give your baby a kiss. Yep, kiss your baby. Give your baby a kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, someone's just riding by on their bike. Okay, guys, join us next week where we talk all about Autumn and do her 21-month update. Can you say yay?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't want to miss that. So please subscribe so you can see her in action. Bye, guys.